Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back for our Mauler edition of the breakdown. So we're going to be showing you the wish list from the beginning, where we need to build those heroes with signature items and also with their engraving. We did cover the light bearers yesterday, and today, guys, we are covering our Mauler heroes. Now the Mauler's very specific. We did get the brand new support hero, Alero. Not many players utilizing that hero. So of course, we're going to start with Skarath. Skarath, guys, super strong, is a mitigation tank. I love the way he works, is the key and one of the biggest keys to the invasion comp that they run. And Mauler specific are very reliant on Maulers within the same faction. Number 2 in here, we do have Kren. Guys, Kren is the carry. Kren probably is the single-handed strongest Mauler, the only Mauler that I know that makes it into the meta teams. We see some of the invade comp sometimes, but Kren can even run outside of those ones. Now, next one we look at is Brutus. I did build Brutus up on this account a little bit too far. You only need essentially 2 copies of Brutus to build him up to that Elite Plus. After that, you can actually swap him in for another hero, but you have to have those 2 copies, which we'll explain in a little bit. Followed by Entendre. Guys, Entendre is the Mauler version of Isolde. It does take a considerable amount to get her built out, but she can solo the tower if you've ever merged her, if you use her, if you do have her built. She has the ability to mark up and solo the tower because Maulers are very self-sufficient in that manner. And the final one within here, guys, is Skarath. Now, Skarath, of course, we know is required for the 5-pull. If you do not have Skarath within that formation, the 5-pull does not work, guys. It'll be a 3-pull with Ebron versus the 5-pull, which is the reason he is in here. So a very strong set of Maulers from the beginning. Again, I wish I would have followed this a little bit more, and I wish on this account specifically, we would have summoned some more Maulers. We really didn't summon very many out of here, which as a result, we're a little bit behind when it comes to the race itself. So we're going to break down the Maulers now, kind of, again, exactly how we need them. So Brutus, biggest thing with Brutus, guys, is Brutus is an immunity tank. That is really all you need him for. Even if you have him built just a little bit, Brutus will be a tank, guys. Now, the biggest thing with him is when you start building him out and you do take him over that Elite Plus, the signature item will actually extend the duration and also add a healing factor when he does his last gasp, which is when he takes a fatal blow. So even here, it extends it by 1 second. Now it gives him a shield, and then when you double in his furniture, it will actually come into later game because you'll see it extends it another 2 seconds right here. And then the skill is extended by 2 seconds for each non-summoned ally that dies before or during the use of it. So if he is using this last gasp ability and a hero dies, it will actually extend it another 2 seconds, which again, he is a hero that is actually used through the entire game. He is a hero that is used in every aspect of the game. He is used as an immunity tank. That is what I've been using him for. If you've watched the YouTube race account, he is the immunity tank. So when you have a burst team, he can minimize that. He can get, Daemon allowed to shield, letting heroes actually buying them time to be able to be built up and be able to actually survive. Next one we look at is Skarath, guys. Skarath is a hero. Plus 10 signature item works. Plus 20 works definitely better. Big thing with here is the required energy to use his ultimate ability only requires 500 energy the first time, which means he will ult very quick, which is key to the invade. Not only is he a tank that cannot be pushed back or knocked back, he will actually push the enemy teams back. Now, for furniture, again, the plus 20 a little bit later does come into play. Plus 30 just for stats. There's really not a big reason to push him to a plus 30, but the furniture on him is very important, guys, especially early game. All allied heroes within the enemy half of the battlefield have the attack rating and damage mitigation, guys. Very strong right there. Then, of course, getting to the 9 of 9, which a little bit later game, you will get him to the 9 of 9. Allied heroes recover 100 energy points every 3 seconds, guys, which is insane because remember, if they're going on the enemy side, if you're running an invade team, if you have heroes like Zafriel, if you have Frampton, they're going to be the enemy side, and they're going to have a massive energy battery, which is exactly what Skreg is when you get him to that enemy side of the field. Now, looking at Entendre, Entendre is another hero, guys, plus 30 signature item. She is just an absolute monster. She has her own built-in life leech here. Allies receive an additional 60 energy points after striking marked enemies. Every 2 seconds, this can trigger. Super, super strong, guys. Now, with the furniture, same. You are going 9 of 9 on Entendre. This is very important. If she loses 95% of the total health, attack rating goes up by 30%, recovers 70 energy points per second, and is immune to control until the end of battle. That's right. If this triggers early, she gets an enemy control. She's immune to enemy control for the entire battle. And she is a hero as well that you do want to break out to that 60 engraving. Skreg doesn't require any of the engraving. She does require the 60 engraving, guys, to really just dominate. And you can see both the 30 and the 60 are giving her physical pierce, which is going to allow her to do a ton of damage. Then, of course, right here, you can see with knockdown, it is giving her a very vital heal, which means that she is going to be super difficult to kill. And that is where that Isolde type build comes in, is giving her the ability to actually mitigate the damage with a combination of Skreg, then also having that self-heal in there, which again is super important. Which brings us to Skarath, guys. Now, Skarath is not required to have the signature item, but my biggest thought is when you start running him in campaign stages, when you run him in different stages, if you haven't built up any additional damage that he is putting out, cannot hurt, guys. It is very important to have his damage, especially when it comes to boss fights, especially Dark Namora. Some of the boss fights are going to require him to do damage, and when he is allowed to stay alive and when he does have the survivability, he does a considerable amount of damage. He really does a considerable amount of damage. So eventually you'll get him to the plus 30, but not right off the bat. The first thing that you want to focus on when you're building out Skarath is getting the 3 of 9 furniture, guys. This desert trap is what triggers the 5 pull. This is the 5 pull. So if you're running Iran Leica, which Iran Leica with Lucy, this is the 5 pull, guys. This is exactly what it is. So you do have to have Skarath, or the 5 pull does not work at all. This is the biggest priority. Once you get him to Ascended, then you will get that 3 of 9. 9 of 9 is not required. Same with engraving. There is no need to do the engraving. Which brings us to our final hero, guys, which is Kren. Now, Kren is a hero that is absolutely broken. Signature item, plus 30 signature item, absolutely, guys. Normal attacks are enhanced once after using a normal attack one time. So he'll use a normal attack one time. Next time does the ability, which is super powerful, guys. It will actually, right here, enhanced normal attacks deal an additional 40% of damage. But the big thing here, guys, is knocking them backwards, stunning them. You can see the plus 20 is 2 seconds. So every other attack he's knocking back and stunning, which again is super important when it comes to Kren. Now the furniture 3 of 9 is very good on him. 9 of 9 you will use for more endgame. So when you are running formations, this is going to protect that invade team comp if that is what you are using, that enshrouding bomb. 3 of 9 is really good just because it does a haste reduction. As you continue to use him and as you do get further in the campaign, you are going to utilize him. Building him out with the engraving, a lot of people go 41, so doing the plus 41 engraving, specifically looking at haste and crit after you hit that 30 rating. If you do take him, essentially once you get further into the game, enhance the concussion blast while Kren is using his skill. Any damage received by enemies excluding target is reduced by 50%. So if you're getting more into endgame, you will get him to that plus 60 engraving. It is going to do a 50% damage reduction, guys, which is absolutely crazy when you're building him out, guys. He can destroy the Mauler tower, especially if you're running heroes like Skreg with Entendre and Kren. It is a very, very tough team to build to beat, even in the Mauler tower, guys. ever since we've gotten him in the Mauler Tower, is a very strong hero. All right, guys, so that'll do it for our Mauler edition of the build out. So looking at just those 5 key heroes, again, if you're early game, really a big priority to build those, making sure that you're focusing on building the signature items, also getting the furniture for those heroes and the engraving, which out of those guys, only 2 of the 5 need engraving, so definitely not too hard to build within the Mauler. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.